Guys, hit that subscribe button for daily boxing news. They put Joshua on the end of that contract to fight White. It's a fight. It's a fight. We'll bring Dillian Whyte right here to America and we'll whip his ass. That's easy. This is not hard. None of this stuff is really hard. They're making it hard. It's not hard on our part. It's hard on their part because there's so much to lose. That's why he's so mad. Because his plans have been derailed. It backfired on him. It wasn't never about me and Joshua. It was about me and his other fighter. We're just not in the business of that. I have no problem fighting whoever he wants me to fight, as long as he puts Joshua on the end of that contract. I'm fine with that. Even if he wants me to fight his other fighter, Dillian Whyte, I don't have a problem with it. Let him fight Luis Ortiz, and if he beats Ortiz, I'll fight him. Or put Joshua on the end of the contract, and then I'll fight him. Other than that, Dillian Whyte is just going to be another guy. Even when he gets in the mandatory position, I still have a year. Right now, I'm up for a voluntary title defense. So as they make me wait, I'm going to make them guys wait. We're going to continue to do our thing here in America and build in America. And that's how it's going to go. So that is what Deontay Wilder, WBC heavyweight champion of the world, had to say. He had to say a lot of interesting things in this piece. First of all, he said something that he said in the past. He said that he'll fight Dillian Whyte. He'll fight Dillian Whyte. But it would have to be in the contract that he immediately gets a shot at unified heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua. So if he fights Dillian Whyte and if he beats him, he has a title shot, a title opportunity with Anthony Joshua immediately. But then in this same piece that, he says this, Deontay Wilder, but then in this same piece, he says that he has no problem. Like, he says he has no problem fighting whoever Eddie Hearn wants him to fight. Dillian Whyte, he's basically talking. Like I was saying before I was interrupted, in this very same piece, Deontay Wilder says that he is willing to fight Dillian Whyte if he has a contract. Stating that if he beats Dillian Whyte, he immediately gets a title shot with Anthony Joshua. But in this very same piece, he says he feels that Dillian Whyte should fight Luis Ortiz first. And if he beats Luis Ortiz, then he'll fight him. So he's kind of contradicting himself. He starts off the piece saying that he'll fight Dillian Whyte. Oh yeah, he'll fight Dillian Whyte. As long as there's a contract with, Joshua at the end of it. But at the end of the piece, he's saying that, no, actually, he wants Dillian Whyte to fight Luis Ortiz. And if he gets past Luis Ortiz, then he'll fight him. And then he says that, at the end of this piece, he says that even if Dillian Whyte has a mandatory position, he has a whole year to fight him. And he has a voluntary title defense that he can make in between that whole year. And then he says he'll make them wait. He'll make, Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua wait, just like they're making him wait, while he grows his brand in America. So what I'm getting out of Deontay Wilder is he's saying he'll fight Dillian Whyte, but he doesn't really want to fight Dillian Whyte. Instead, he wants Dillian Whyte to fight Luis Ortiz. But then he'll still wait a year defending voluntary defenses before he even fights Dillian Whyte. Because he's saying even if Dillian Whyte's is mandatory, he'll still, basically have Dillian Whyte wait for a year because like I said, he could make his mandatory wait for a year. So I guess he's saying that in between that year, he's gonna probably be fighting guys like, what's his name, Dominic Brazil. He's probably gonna be fighting guys like Dominic Brazil in between that year, and maybe some other guy, and then he'll finally fight Dillian Whyte. So this whole idea of Deontay Wilder fighting Dillian Whyte, according to Deontay Wilder himself, because he is contradicting himself in this piece, is not going to happen unless, you know, unless Eddie Hearn has him in the contract that he's going to immediately get a shot with AJ. But like I said in this very same piece, he wants him to fight Luis Ortiz first. I don't know. He's kind of contradicting himself here. Maybe Deontay Wilder really does look at Dillian Whyte as a threat. And that's why he doesn't want to fight him. To me, I just think it's I don't know. I don't understand why he would look at Dillian Whyte as a threat. I just think stylistically, Deontay Wilder is a better fighter than Dillian Whyte, personally. He's getting a big payday. But yeah, maybe he just looks at him as a threat. Again, he's just contradicting himself here because he's saying he'll fight Dillian Whyte, but then he's saying no, he actually wants him to fight Luis Ortiz first. Then he'll fight him. But then what? What if Dillian Whyte fights Luis Ortiz and he beats him? And then, let's say, but I don't think he'll beat him because I think that would be a really, really difficult fight for Dillian Whyte. He'll probably lose that fight. But let's say he beats him. If he beats Ortiz, then what? Dillian Whyte, then he's still not going to fight Wilder because you know what Deontay Wilder's going to do? He's going to say, nah, I still have a whole year to make you wait, Dillian Whyte. So he'll make him wait while he has his voluntary defenses in America. Or he'll say, he'll still make that whole shit where I'll fight you, White, but you better have, you know, but tell your promoter to put Anthony Joshua in that contract so I fight you immediately. That's the same thing he said a year ago. If you guys remember a year ago, or a couple of months ago, and that wasn't even a year ago, 6 months ago, he was saying the same fucking crap that he'll only fight Dillian Whyte if there's a contract. It's always this whole stipulation where he wants Dillian Whyte. He'll only fight Dillian Whyte. The only way he'll fight Dillian Whyte if there's a fucking contract for him to get the AJ shot. He'll say he'll bring Dillian Whyte to America. I think that's kind of dumb. I think he should actually go to the UK and face Dillian Whyte there. Because there's more... because I think right now the UK is booming, especially for the heavyweight scene. So I think that would be a better choice. But you know, he is the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. So if he wants Dillian Whyte to come to America, Dillian Whyte's gonna have to go to America because he's basically the A side when it comes to this situation. You know, so yeah, Wilder's contradicted himself here a lot, and I don't know. I get the vibe that he really doesn't want to fight Dillian Whyte. Maybe he really doesn't fancy that fight, but I personally think that he could beat Dillian Whyte. I personally think he could beat Dillian Whyte, but I don't know, man. That's all I have to say. Subscribe if you watch the video from start to finish. As he wants Dillian Whyte to fight Luis Ortiz, and if he beats Ortiz, then he'll fight him. That's what he said.